The Lion King is set to release on July 19th, 2019, and Disney has been churning out trailer after trailer in order to help promote the movie to as wide an audience as possible. Unfortunately, that also means that with the vast amount of clips that have been shown on the various characters, fans and critics alike have been breaking down the CGI, complaining about the realistic look and how the emotion and feeling of the characters has been lost in the translation. And so for this video, I'm going to break down how and why the CGI has garnered such a negative and widespread reaction to the live action adaptation. Now, I'm going to try to compare the original animation with the live action CGI as little as possible, as they both stand in a completely different formats of visual animation, and as always, director's cuts must be made with any remake. Before we can break down why the CGI looks as it does, we need to understand the one concept, the uncanny valley. In CGI and VFX work, the uncanny valley is a hypothesized relationship between the degree of an object's resemblance to a human being and the emotional response to such an object. The concept of the uncanny valley suggests humanoid objects which appear almost but not exactly like real human beings, elicit uncanny or strangely familiar feelings of eeriness and revulsion in observers. The same or similar concept can be applied to converting 2D animation to realistic CGI anthropomorphic animals. As we get closer to a real-life look, we start to recognize more and more faults with the CGI. Now let's compare some scenes from the trailers, understanding why a lot of people are not pleased with how the lions look. Let's compare Scar, one of the most iconic characters in the Lion King franchise.
All lions? Even my dad?
Even Mufasa came here when he was your age. Refused to leave until his roar could be heard above the rim.
All the way up there?
That's when you know you found it. With a little practice, you'll never be called a cub again.
We can see how the mannerisms and expression of both versions are vastly different. Translating the personified and expressive freedom of cartoon expressions isn't an easy task, where one deals in stretching and exaggeration of movement, the other is trying to portray a brooding, realistic look. The movements and expressions of all the lions in the movie have a puppet-like feel to them, as if they're being dragged by a string. Exaggeration is not uncommon in realistic CGI movies, it could be style over substance. Let's compare Timon and Pumbaa in this scene.
I missed him! I'm gonna get one of those vultures one day. I'm gonna get one.
I don't know why it's so important to you.
I just feel like it would make me feel better. Oh no, it's a little lion.
That is not a lion.
Well then go check it out. What is it?
That is not a lion, it's a furry bird.
It looks like a lion.
That's not a lion. Let me get a closer look. Excuse me. All right, let me see what we're dealing with here. It's a lion! Run for your life, Pumbaa!
Hey, Timon, wait, Timon, wait. It's a little lion.
It gets big.
The most recognizable fault in this scene is how Pumbaa has been converted to a very realistic warthog, losing all personality and expression from the original. The general feeling is not there. The mannerisms that the original expressed are gone. The animation is sluggish and lifeless, and although these scenes are only taken from the trailers of the movie, we have yet to see close-ups of all the characters. The famous Hakuna Matata song that plays in the original has also been released.
It's our problem-free philosophy, Hakuna Matata.
And looking over this, we can see that the animation has remained vastly the same. Although the movie has received adjustments to the expressions and looks of the characters, I suspect it will not be enough to please fans and make this an adaptation that will be remembered for a very long time. The technology to replicate real human faces and animals has been in development in the games and VFX industry for many years. Although we are getting close to surpassing the uncanny valley dilemma, we are still not yet past the threshold for true realistic CGI. at least for now. Now this is not to say that the fundamental leap in CGI work in The Lion King is not to be commended for. It is some of the best CGI work that an animated film has seen yet, and I only suspect it is going to get better.
Come home.
So what did you think of the characters in the movie? Did you like it or did you not? How would you do it differently? Leave your comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.